you say we cut the chit-chat? A-hole!
This year we're going to grab the bull by the balls and kick those punks off campus.
Well, looks like the cows have come home to roost.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the entertainment.ie movie show, brought to you by our pals in Odeon Cinemas. I'm the editor, Mike Sheridan. I'm joined as always by Brian Lloyd, movie editor.
How are you?
And Dee Malumbi, staff writer. Brian, you're just back from holidays.
Dee was away on holidays.
You were just back from holidays.
Yeah.
What's
Got a new
the
jumper.
story here? Are we paying you too much, lads? Can I
Well,
have a raise?
No, do you know what it is, right? We work too hard and we haven't used up our holidays, so now we have to try use them up before the end of the year.
That
So this
was
is
my
really your
reason.
problem.
Whoa. That's a scheduling nightmare for me. This is really unfair, like.
This is just saying, like, we
And you
work
work
so
the
hard.
and you work the weekends. Help me
Yeah,
out. Help me
exactly.
out, like. You're always off gallivanting with the happy pair, like, on a Tuesday. They're busy the weekends.
Yeah, but like, what I'm saying is that like we have to use up all our holidays now. Okay, this is a scheduling on your
360,
part.
You've got 365 days a year. You can use
Yeah,
up your
and we have to.
holidays.
Yeah, and like we've only 20 days of holidays.
Lads.
And like, yeah, what are you talking about?
Getting
You're
a bit
this as well.
distracted.
There's a mutiny. There's been a mutiny. You sit in your arse and watch films for a living, Brian, you're grand. Anyway, 2018, we're going. In the second half of the show, we're going to talk about the films we're most looking forward to in 2018, and there were rows. There were rows
Yeah.
beforehand about who got to pick what, so it'll probably be just a collective effort. But before that, you'd wonder.
You'd wonder.
You would wonder.
Yes.
This one's actually been a box office smash. It's made a fortune at the US
Yes.
box office. I haven't seen it, and Brian hasn't seen it. You're the only one to see it. How was it?
It was really, really nice. It's really lovely. And I suppose it is that time of year, it's Christmas and, families are going to the cinema together. This is a really nice movie to, bring your kids to or to go with your friends or whatever.
There's
and
a
it's
nice
just,
message. There's a
yeah,
nice message.
it's lovely and feel good and all about just being nice to your fellow man and, being open and understanding, especially to kids. So just to give you a basic rundown of the story, it's about this kid who has facial deformities as a result of having Treacher Collins syndrome. He's actually had a number of surgeries across his lifetime just so that his face looks like a face. Like that's how bad it is.
You were saying that's a real syndrome, but
Yes.
this isn't a true story.
No, it's not based on a true story, but it's based on, it was a best-selling novel beforehand and like really big, not just in the States, but internationally. Like my sister has a copy, so even when I heard that this film had come
Before
out,
the
I was
film
like,
came out,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
The posters,
exactly.
I shot a poster at a
Yeah.
screen in there this morning where he's just got the helmet on. It's a really cool poster.
Yeah, it's really kind of striking and everything. Yeah, and even like the book cover design is like really simple. It's just like his face and kind of you see like half of his eye, and it's really kind of interesting and simple.
Like,
But,
so it's visually interesting.
yeah.
Interesting film.
yeah, it's really nice. So Jacob Tremblay plays the main kid. He was obviously the main kid in Room as well, and he's amazing in this. He's just incredible. And Julia Roberts.
Case of the Haley Joels.
Yeah.
He's gonna wear. I don't know. He's gonna
What?
wear a suit to the Oscars.
No, but like
I never see a kid in a suit. I'm always like, ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Kids in suits. No, really, it's really weird. Never mind. Go on. Forget I said that. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I think about it. It's just keep
Anyway,
talking.
let's move swiftly on. Deirdre,
You know what? It's just a really lovely movie. Like for some people, it might be a bit schmaltzy, but I actually think that it works and that it's genuine. You know what I think is really good is that it's in the hands of a great director in Stephen. I hope I've pronounced his name, Chbosky. Do you remember a few years ago, The Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Yes.
love that film.
It's the same
You've
director.
just sold us
Yeah.
me. You've just sold us me
Yeah.
with the perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah,
That was
'cause
one of my
he
favorite
wrote-
films that year.
Yeah, he wrote the original book of Perks of Being a Wallflower, and then he wrote the screenplay and he directed it, and he just did a really good job. Like I think that's one of the best teen picks that have been out
100%,
in
it
recent
really
years.
is.
And with this movie as well, he directs it, and he just does a really good job at making it kind of genuine and not too cheesy when it could be quite cheesy. And on that basis, I think it's a really good, solid
How's
movie.
the cast? Because Owen Wilson hasn't been in a
Yeah.
whole lot lately, and he's Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's some,
they're both really great in it, and all the kid actors in it are fantastic. I was saying to Brian there earlier, the kid who's in Suburbicon, who's called Noah Jupe, I think he's in this as well. He plays like one of the boys who kind of becomes friends with Jacob Tremblay's main character. So yeah, everyone's great in this.
That's always the thing, though. I always think with like when you have a film like this that it is primarily based on child actors, it really does live or die
They really
on them.
can't. Because it's so easy to be annoying.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, that's it. And it's really about like, okay, if they're endearing and if they're not too annoying and they're not too precocious and they're, like what was that film that Chris Evans did with the gifted,
Yeah. With the gifted.
with the gifted kid.
He's on fire today. And sorry, Dee's just off a plane from New York, like grand. Brian's just being Brian.
I'm just being me, but
Yeah.
the point I'm making about that film was, thanks for the buzzer,
Sorry about that.
was In Gifted, I thought the kid was a little bit annoying. That's the point I'm making.
She was a little, yeah.
Yeah, whereas in this, obviously, Jacob Tremblay, because he was brilliant in Room, so I'm assuming he's good in this.
Yeah.
So we're attacking small children now. That's where we're at now. Is it, Brian?
Pretty
We're
much,
attacking
yeah.
Only small children in
this
suits.
is bullying. This is bullying. this is bullying. Anyway,
where we're at.
let's move on before Brian says something else that's going to get us in trouble. Brian, there's a Christmas film, and you actually talked to the director.
Yes, he's on the podcast this week, right after the show. If you're listening to this on iTunes or SoundCloud or wherever, the director of The Man Who Invented Christmas, Bharat Naloori is his name.
Yeah.
He directed a load of episodes of Spooks and Life on Mars, and he did this. We talked to him.
Hustle,
yeah.
Hustle's
Of
a
course,
really
yeah.
fun
Hustle,
show.
yeah, really good show. Robert Vaughn was in there. Remember Robert Vaughn? Yeah, good show. But anyways, yeah, so we're talking to him. He's on the podcast, but the film is The Man Who Invented Christmas, and it is essentially...
Dan Stevens.
Yeah, Dan
It is
Stevens.
essentially Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
Essentially, Dan Stevens playing Charles Dickens writing A Christmas Carol, and the way that they kind of do it is it's him going through the creative process of like coming up with Scrooge, and then coming up with the Ghost of Christmas Past and Christmas Present.
The kind of idea, like, so did like the little bits of inspiration that he sees from
Throughout the
that-
film,
that
yeah,
that
exactly.
triggered a creative opus, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah. So he's like walking through this like crappy old horrible graveyard, and he sees this weird old man, and that's like, oh, he's Scrooge, and it's Christopher Plummer, and then like this housemaid, this young Irish housemaid, that's the inspiration for the Ghost of Christmas Past or Christmas, Christmas Past and stuff like that. So it's an interesting film in the sense that like it's weird to see these characters that we've all known. How did they come about? And Dan Stevens really plays him kind of like do you remember Amadeus?
Yeah.
He really plays him like Tom
Murray
Hulk.
Abraham.
Yeah, Tom Hulk in it, where it was like all like really jittery and really kind of crazy. It's that kind of buzz. Christopher Plummer is brilliant in it.
He's a great actor.
He
Brilliant,
is such a good actor. And I'm really delighted that he's like kind of back in the public
Watch
eye.
him play Mike Wallace in The Insider.
Yeah.
It's a really it's a subtly nuanced performance in
Yeah.
The Insider. He's brilliant. He's very good at it.
Yeah, he's like such a good actor. He's great in it as Scrooge. And the other part of it as well is that if you're watching this, it's all filmed in Dublin.
Really?
Yeah, majority of the film was made in Dublin. Like your man, what's his face, McSavage, Dave McSavage,
Yeah.
Dan McSavage, Dave McSavage. He turns up in a cameo role in it. It was parts of it were filmed in the Olympia, parts of it were filmed in Mountjoy Square, parts of it were filmed up by Dublin Castle. So like you're watching it, it's like they're pretending to be
like,
London, but like there's Mountjoy Square.
Yeah.
There's a good spar around the corner from there.
Yeah.
Hey, I know
But
that.
that novelty will never wear off. Oh, Zanny, go, Brian.
Yeah, it is. It's fine. Like it's fine. It is kind of shot like a TV movie. It is kind of like Wonder, a little bit twee in places, but it's fine. I mean, it's grand.
Kind of functional.
Yeah.
Very functional. Very functional. Like 3.5.
We have to start. I think we're probably going to have to start doing from January because we're going to be moving.
Oh, we announced
areas.
that, are we?
We're not announcing it. We're going to be moving areas, I suppose. Like, so we're going to be moving somewhere else to another office. So this is all going to look different. We may not have a red chair. May have a red chair. Who knows?
Yeah,
may have a different
who
red chair.
knows?
May have a blue chair.
Maybe a blue. Why? But blue is not our colour, though.
Green one.
Green.
Is it going to be green?
Yeah, green.
But
I want a green chair.
But I was just going to say we can do long form podcasts separate to this. So
Yes.
this goes out as a podcast. So I think in future we should sit down maybe from January onwards and we might have like 45-minute hour long conversations of like actual kind of deep movie talk. But obviously we're on Facebook and YouTube and everything here. So we want to keep it as tight as possible, which Brian will now talk for 15 minutes. Anyway, next year 2018 we all looked at the calendar for 2018 and picked out our favorite films. Me and Dee rowed first of all over Deadpool 2 because I wanted to pick Deadpool 2. So let's just both collectively say we picked Deadpool 2. Dee, you did a great shout as well, Brian. For me, it's the director for this one. It's David Leitch, who's been brought on to direct the second one. Best action director working today. Chad Zdarsky as well. They obviously co-directed John Wick.
Do we
John
have the
Wick,
picture?
John-
The
John-
picture has been over
Got John
there.
Yeah.
So
Over there.
I just feel like I need to pay, I don't know, homage or so. Every time I say John Wick, I just need to say it differently or something
Take a
because
beat.
take a beat because it's the best film ever made, and John Wick 2 is the best sequel ever made. Anyway, that's why I'm looking forward to seeing Deadpool 2. Obviously, it's Ryan Reynolds' signature role
Yes.
at this point,
So
and
awesome in it.
and you know what I'm looking forward to seeing as well, the marketing. Because they've been brilliant. They were brilliant with the
Yeah.
last one. They're just
The
gonna
Bob
take it up
Ross
a notch
thing,
now.
the Bob Ross trailer. I was watching that the other
So
day.
funny.
I got a chance to properly have a look at it, and I was just sitting there like, it's so funny. And then you looked over like, why are you looking all creepy or like smiling creepily? And I was like, no, I'm just watching the Deadpool 2 trailer.
No, you were like this.
Yeah, it's just like, Bob Ross. I love that guy. I never remember Bob Ross. You're probably too young to remember Bob Ross.
I
You
kind
remember?
of know him to see.
Yeah, he was the guy that
Yeah.
used to pay. He used to do these like.
I'm the same. I don't know who he is. I think
Yeah.
Brian's
You
just
never
like,
heard of Bob Ross?
No, it's just like
Brian
I mean,
exists
people
in-
know who Bob
Brian
Ross
just
is.
exists in a time of his own, I think.
People know who Bob Ross is. Don't give me that shit. Okay, damn it. Sorry. People know who Bob Ross is. Please comment on Facebook below.
Dave, do you know?
and tell
Dave,
me-
do you know who Bob Ross is?
Yeah,
Dave,
he's
no,
not.
no, Dave
See,
knows
yeah,
about-
there you
he's
go.
60 though. Anyway, so Dee, tell us, are you looking forward to Deadpool 2? Why did
I
you want
am.
to pick this one?
I just loved the first one so much. It was just so fun and so cheeky and just so like laugh out loud funny. And the action was like so cool in it. And I love even all the like little characters. I love like his blind neighbor. I'm really excited to see her back again. I
She may
loved
be in love with
Weasel.
him.
I loved, yeah, I loved even.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
I
mean,
just
that is
thought
the
they were
best
all
character
gas,
name
you
ever.
know. And Josh Brolin as Cable, I think, is going to be great as well. I'm looking forward
Josh
to
Brolin
that.
got
Yeah.
absolutely shredded for that as well, didn't he? Okay, now Brian, we're looking forward. You were The Shape of Water was one you were thinking of.
I was thinking,
Guillermo
but
del
you,
Toro.
Yeah, I also wanted to
He
pick
was
that.
just hijacking all our ideas. Like,
Yeah.
what's the story?
Pretty much.
ridiculous. Yeah, no, I've seen The Shape of Water.
Oh, what are you
It's-
looking forward to it then?
Well, I am looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
but you've seen it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I was just.
Well, that's unfair. So Brian cheated.
I
You
didn't
did cheat.
cheat.
We'd
I
won-
didn't pick.
we'd won
I
the-
picked the Predator.
It's called a preview.
Yeah, I know that. We have. I'm saying there's a review. Okay, God, right. There is a review on site now for Shape of Water. I loved it. Deirdre, why are you looking forward to The Shape of
Whoa,
Water?
whoa, 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 whoa! You're not hosting this.
Well, you're not doing a good job.
I think you're gonna blow Dave's ears
Calm
off.
down.
Dee, tell us why you're looking forward to Shape of Water. We'll give Brian a B.
I love Pan's Labyrinth. Guillermo del Toro. I really like his work. I've heard such great things about this, especially about Sally Hawkins' performance. Like she's getting a lot of
Great actress.
Oscar buzz for this. Yeah, and I really like those kind of fantasy, kind of adult story, like fairy tale type
Yeah.
movies. I just think when they're done right, they're just gorgeous to look at and gorgeous to experience.
Was
so
Crimson Peak?
Crimson Peak.
Was that wasn't done right?
I missed
I think
that
it
one
was.
actually.
Yeah,
We've had this argument
no,
before.
it wasn't. It was a bad film.
I disagree with you. I think Crimson Peak.
Ooh, look, gothic. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. It's more than just gothic. Okay. It's like got that real kind of like dark romance, kind of like Wuthering Heights meets Downton Abbey meets kind of sort of
Wuthering Heights
Grand
is-
Guignol kind of thing. So don't like. Okay. Crimson Peak is all right. Okay.
Take it down a notch.
Just
Brian.
saying.
Take it
Crimson
down a
Peak is
notch.
all right. I will not have Crimson Peak besmirched. It's good film.
You're so
all right?
passionate about everything.
So
Let's move on. It was a good show from you, Brian, actually.
Yes.
The Predator.
The Predator.
Shane Black. Love Shane
Great
Black.
cast as
Like
well.
writer, as a writer and as a director.
Yeah.
Just a brilliant filmmaker, I suppose.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor was supposed to be in this when I asked him a few weeks back, and he was like, I had to go to Toronto. I was like,
not
actually, could be
arsed.
arsed. I was like, you should have done that.
Yeah.
It's Shane Black. It's going to
Yeah.
be really good.
Yeah.
When are we going to see some footage from this one, do you think?
That's interesting because I think they've kind of moved the release date for it around a bit. I'd say myself, I don't think there's onset problems. I think it's a case of Shane Black is like, right, I want to make this as good as I possibly can make it. So I need to have the script right. I need to have the editing right. I need to kind of make it as balanced as possible.
Yeah.
Because you go back and look at the first one, the one in 1987. That is such a finely tuned
That Shane Black
film.
is in. He's got a cameo. in
Yeah,
it,
yeah, he was Hawkins in it, and also like he was on set to do some writing on it as well. And in fact, just because Predator is my film, he was brought on by Joel Silver. Joel Silver said, "Look, I want you to go down to the set and just be there for on-set rewrites." And Shane Black was like, "This script is amazing. You don't need to touch it. I'll take a cameo, thanks, and just you can do whatever here."
Yeah.
And so Boyd Holbrook is in it. What's his face? Alfie Allen is in it. Keegan-Michael Key is in it.
Alfie Allen from John Wick. John Wick.
Keegan-Michael Key is in it as well. Jacob Tremblay is in it as well. He plays
right,
the
yeah.
kid
He
in
He's
it.
the Predator.
it's a really little Predator this time.
But no, I am so looking forward to this because
I am
like
too, yeah.
Shane Black, I think, is one of the best writers of action and comedy.
Bar
Like-
none. There's never any. You talked about. There's never any
Fat.
in the scripts. It's just
Yeah.
lean.
Yeah. Like The Nice Guys, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 are great action films. Like, and really strongly.
Lethal Weapon isn't spoken about. The first Lethal Weapon isn't spoken about in high enough terms. I don't think.
Yeah.
Along with Die Hard, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an action
Definitely.
classic. It's just a classic thriller.
Absolutely, yeah. And just it's the premise of it that it's set in suburban America,
Yeah.
and like the Predator is going to be in suburban America, and it's these like crazy ass PTSD soldiers trying to track down the predator. Like that is just.
I would have. Do you know what? Whatever's going on with him personally, I would have liked to see Conor McGregor in that.
I would have too.
I would have just. I just want to see that happen. I want to see him there and that happen, and I wouldn't let it go either.
But that's it. But like, think of the original one, like Jesse the Body Ventura was crazy, and then you had your man, what's his face?
Elected.
Yeah,
He's a congressman, wasn't he? Or senator?
no, he was a governor. He was the governor of Minnesota. Thank you. And then there was the other guy. What was his name? Billy Rawlins? No.
Look at the Dave for like what the
the guy.
That's your movie.
that was your movie.
I know my brain is just
Crimson
fried.
Peak was your movie as well. Everything's your movie anyway. Shut up, Brian. Before we go, The Incredibles.
Yes.
The sequel to The Incredibles. You wanted to give this one a
I'm
mention.
really, really excited to see The Incredibles 2 as well. I have to say, I love the first Incredibles movie so much, and I just think a sequel. I think they're going to do a great job.
What about
I hope
Coco?
so.
You looking forward to Coco?
Yeah, I saw that
saw that?
actually.
Oh, you were at the Disney Day.
I was at Disney Day, so I got a sneak
highfalutin
peek
around
of
the
it.
place.
It's so lovely.
Is it sweet
It's
as
so
well, is
sweet.
it?
It's gorgeous, and like it's so sweet. Now the only thing I would say about it is Disney Pixar have set the bar so high for themselves that I don't know if it's up there among the best. But as an animated feature, it's really good. I hope I'm allowed to talk about it.
I'm sure
But
you
it
are.
is-
allowed to
Oh,
talk
you
about it.
are.
It's been out in America and it's made loads of
Yeah,
money.
so we're grand.
Everybody's loves it.
But no, definitely that's one I'd recommend.
All right, lads. Well, thanks very much for joining me. Well, D, anyway.
This
And
is ridiculous.
huge thank you to Dave Bryan in production. We'll see you next Friday at 1:00.